Some are saying that more lives would have been lost had it not been for one worker who died saving lives. KTVU's Christian Kaftan is at the VTA yard tonight, and Christian, family members of one of those killed say they're not surprised to hear that their friend died trying to help others.
Yeah, that's right. We spoke to the brother of one of the victims who said it was part of his brother's faith and personality to help others, something he'd done his whole life. So he said when he'd heard that his brother went in and was trying to rescue others and warn others away, he was not surprised. Taptejdeep Singh's family gathered in Union City, supporting his wife, 3-year-old son, and 1-year-old daughter just one day after he was targeted in the VTA mass shooting.
Our whole family, there's a big hole. Like I said, he's the backbone of this family.
Kerman Singh said it's hard to overstate how devastating the loss is.
He treated me not just as his younger brother, but also his son. I never had to worry about anything. He was my backbone. He was my go-to person for everything.
Kerman saying that the instinct to help, to protect others, was a central part of his brother's faith and personality.
We have a big consideration towards a word we call seva, which is selfless service to others. And it's not binded towards your family, towards the color, towards any religion, towards any certain community. It's anybody who's in need.
Witnesses report that Singh rushed to protect his friends and co-workers, getting some into the safety of offices and warning others who would otherwise have come into the facility to stay away. Kerman Singh saying his heart breaks knowing that his brother could have made it to safety, yet chose to stay and help others.
There was a comfort there, and also there was, a little rage there. Why was his first instinct to tell others to get to safety? Try to help others. Why didn't he just, escape himself? I would have had my brother right now, but at the same time, thanks to him, he saved a couple of people.
Now he says he will keep his brother's spirit alive in his niece and nephew. Singh's family saying even as they endure the unimaginable, their thoughts are with those experiencing the same loss.
My heart goes out to those other eight families as well. I can totally relate what they feel, because I feel the same way.
The Singh family says they're receiving the support from friends, family, and the community at large, and they say that is what's helping them endure this incredibly personal and tragic loss. Reporting live in San Jose, Christian Kaftan, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, Christian, what an incredible hero. I'm just wondering here, and you may not know this, but from what we do understand, the police say that the gunman fired 39 shots, but that he had 32 high-capacity magazines loaded on his body. Do they think that the action of the people there and of the police officers responding to the scene made it so that he wasn't able to fire all of that extra ammunition that he had with him?
Well, it certainly sounds like witnesses are crediting Mr. Singh with saving lives, including people who said that he called them before they even arrived at the building, and he was warning them away, helping others get into offices and safe places. Surely that could have been a factor in reducing the number of casualties in this case. Of course, the loss of life here is unimaginable, but it sounds like had it not been for the actions of some of those who were there at the time, it could have been even worse.
Yeah. Christian Kaftan, live for us in the South Bay tonight. Christian, thank you.